And what do you think makes Berkeley special?
I think just the wealth of resources here. So like, obviously there's essay specialists, there's also tutors to help you if you want to boost your scores, but there's also a lot of counselors who have personal experience who've just graduated from a lot of these schools you're applying to, and they're really nice and personable. In addition actually to the Gateway package, I also did a few tutoring sessions here for my SAT. But yeah, so with the Gateway program, I had a really awesome counselor, Kelly, and she helped me with editing all my essays, and I got a lot of advice on like how to prepare for interviews and like what to focus on your essays, and then like editing with my resume and stuff like that. So I got a 2250, and then Berkeley was like, you can do better than that. And so I'm really glad they made me retake my SAT, although I grumbled about it at first. So I got a 2350 my second time, or I guess the time that I submitted. Yeah, the time after that. So, and I submitted those scores, so I think that really helped, and it's good to have that little push. So my first Gateway meeting was with my parents and Emily. So the college admission process is like pretty intimidating at first. Like I literally had no idea what I was doing. My parents really didn't have any idea. So it was good to sit down with Emily and like make a plan and basically gauge what schools would be a good fit for me, which would be like reaches and which would be safeties. And basically we set out a plan. I came in a little late in the summer, so we set a plan on how to accelerate my like process and make sure I was meeting all my deadlines. So it was really helpful to have like a schedule laid out for the long term.
And what about the subsequent meetings?
My subsequent meetings were basically just me and my counselor. So they're really personal, one-to-one. We'd always check in and see what I was doing. Basically, they kept me on top of my things, which was really, really helpful. I probably would have procrastinated till like the night before. It was really helpful because I got like tons of editing on my essays. They don't tell you what to write. They don't tell you like this is what you need to write. They ask you like to brainstorm with them, and then we pick basically a topic that is interesting and also meaningful, like personally, and then they have you write the essay, and then they just do tweaking, which I think is like what should be done. Like college counselors should be writing your essays. So yeah, I thought that was really helpful. That's what my meetings were like.
What do you think was the one most helpful thing about the Gateway program?
I would have to say probably focusing in on like a specific topic for your essays, because that I found was the hardest part. Writing it afterwards was really easy because once we found something I was passionate in that fit the essay prompt, it was really easy. But finding that is really hard because sometimes you're like really off focus, or you find something that isn't really that meaningful, and then you just have a really bad essay. So I think the Gateway program really helped me pick out like, I guess a diamond in the rough. So I applied to actually all the Ivies, and in addition a few other schools like UT, Rice, Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, like Washington University and St. Louis.
And which ones did you get into?
So I got into 5 of the Ivies. So I got into Harvard and UPenn, Dartmouth, Cornell, and Brown. And then I got into Vanderbilt and Johns Hopkins and Rice and UT. I think that's it.
It's a pretty long list. So which one do you think you're going to attend?
I think I will be attending Harvard in the fall. It's
Yeah.
always been the top of my list. I loved it when I visited, and so I'm really excited about that.
What do you think made your application successful for getting so many acceptances?
I think it was, first of all, my essays. It showed I wrote about things I really cared about, so I thought that was really important. I wrote about gender equality and debate, and that's something like I really noticed in the debate world, I guess, and then also about my mission trips to Harlingen County, and those are 2 huge aspects of my life that I really cared about and was passionate about, and I think that showed. But also like having a well-rounded, I guess, just activities. So I did a lot of activities in high school, and they were activities that I really cared about, and I stuck with because I liked doing them, generally like enjoyed them, so I think those are 2 aspects, and also getting great teacher recs. So yeah.
Do you have any advice for other students who are going to be applying for college next year?
Good luck. It is a process, but in the end it's very well worth it, and I think you will find a place that like matches you very well.
And given that the admission rate for Asian American students is lower and it's harder to get in, did you keep this in mind going through high school or choosing different activities to participate in?
I mean, that was definitely always in the back of my mind. I knew it was going to be harder no matter where I applied, but that didn't really change the type of activities I was in. You know, I just knew I had to work extra hard at everything, so I tried to do that. But besides, you know, knowing that I had to work extra hard, it didn't affect or alter in any way what I had to do.